That was tighten. You're tightening it. What's up, Retro Ranchers? This week we're going to take apart the front differential and see if we can fix it.
We're also going to get to these, but that'll be a little bit later on in the video. These are scorpion pepper pistachios. What do you think of that?
Oh, I love pistachios. Hate scorpions. I was stung by a scorpion once.
Did you really?
Yeah, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Come along and let's see what happens. 3, 2. See, I didn't say the 1 this time.
You don't say 2 or 1.
Dang it. All right, folks. So last time that we were with you, or you were with us, we painted the frame and it looks gorgeous. And then now I'm so happy that that's finished. Part of reassembling, we've got to work on this front differential. So this little unit is called a GM 7 1/4, so or 7.25. And they use these in a lot of their vehicles, so S10s, the S10 Blazer. So anyway, we gotta lift this up and we gotta drain it. One more thing about this diff though, it's an aluminum case, so they're okay. You know, the steel cases are stronger, the cast iron, not steel, sorry. The cast iron cases are stronger, but they're a lot harder to find. So anyway, we're gonna stick with this unit, and if it's used as a once in a while, get you out of the sand part-time thing, or who knows. It's just there if you need it, all right? So I gotta pull this plug right here, and I gotta get this cable off. I'll explain this in a minute. This cable might get in the way. I don't know, I'm gonna pull up this drain plug, then I need your help, sir.
Okay.
Getting it out.
How long is it gonna take to drain?
I don't know. Shouldn't take that long.
Hey, this is a John Deere bucket.
Hey! So I'll hold this. Just kidding. And oh yeah, she's coming out. Dirty. Oh yeah, look at that. Hey, that's a good sign. There's a lot of oil in this, which is good. Oh boy. All right, folks. All right, so this cable right here, what it's intended to do, this goes into a vacuum actuator. And so when you pull the shifter to go into full drive, that activates an electronic switch on a vacuum thingy, and then the vacuum pulls on this. Can you turn that for my little demonstration? Pulls on this. Man, this is kind of hard to pull. Now go for it. Ah, did you hear it lock? So now what that does is this shaft inside of here you're gonna see is actually 2 pieces. So you got this piece we're gonna knock out, and then inside here there's also another smaller piece. And the whole idea of that is so when you're in two-wheel drive, you save the front end kinda, so it makes it so the front drive shaft doesn't turn. And these go into the wheels and they're splined, you can see right here. And these are always turning. If the front wheel's turning, these are always turning. And so the engineers were thinking, if we could disconnect the turning power, then that front driveline won't spin all the time and it should save the front U-joints. I don't know. You know what? So many of these things are probably like good ideas, but the problem is now we've introduced all these extra parts, which this cable is now one of them, and frequently that vacuum actuator fails. And so like you pull it into full drive, and then it never goes into full drive. And this is the reason why. So when we get this apart, possibly see if there's a way I can just either full-time lock it into full drive or fully lock this. They do make a cable kit that you put inside of here and then you run it into the cab, but it's just like one additional step. I guess it's like, are you sure you want to be in full drive? So these are the gloves from back when I took the seat apart. These are actually my mother-in-law's gloves. They're still here. If you need them back, they're gonna be very dirty. You can tell this is gonna be hard, tough because of the way it is. That was tighten. You're tightening it. I can win that way. Whoa. Told you we were gonna win. right, so we gotta remember how some of these things come apart.
That's why we got the camera.
True, but hopefully you can see everything. Oh, geez, look at that. Where's that cable hook into? All right, so this is just so I know what order they go in. This was first. It has this little dent in it. It went like that. And then the gear, and this washer, just like that. We'll put you in here. And then this gear. So here's this is the other shaft I was talking about, the intermediary. So this kind of goes in there like a guide. So the way this essentially works is when this collar sits here and is not engaged, this just spins, or this just spins, and it's truly not engaged in full drive. And so what ends up happening is when you pull that lever, this cable, you have to kind of be moving the truck, and then it locks it in like that, and now you're in full drive. So it's goofy. A lot of companies done it. My Jeep YJ used to be like this, and then I put a one-piece axle in it. So when they say like a one-piece axle, that's generally what they're referring to, which means it starts here, goes here, and doesn't have all this stuff in the way.
That's it.
Wow, that's so impressive. Back in the day, you'd have to have like the air tool. It was the only thing that would take this puppy off. I love the crescent hammer. It's my favorite hammer.
Of all the crescents?
Of all the crescents. This pinion seal has obviously been leaking for a long time. It's like we're held on by another bolt, but I think it's a pin. There we go. Yep, it's that pin right there. Oh, my garbage. So there was fluid in it, but look at the grime in that sucker. That is some sludge, man. Holy smokes. All right, so let's pull out the ring gear. And fella's got to gaze his peepers on this thing. And it looks pretty good. It's a good sign. So we're not using this pinion.
Bingo.
Perfect. So the next thing to do, use that pry bar. Hit that with the hammer. Just give her a tap. A little more.
Rotate it?
No, just keep going. Almost there. Almost there. Nice. Spice time. I tell you, I've never eaten scorpion before.
I never have either.
Kaylin says have a drink on hand.
Dude, that's...
Oh. I think I know kind of like what this is going to taste like. But I love pistachios.
Pistachios are good.
They're like $100 for an 8-ounce bag.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It kind of tastes like cough syrup.
These are definitely hotter than the Reapers that you had. Dude, my tongue's on fire.
No shells. Get ready to feel the burn. It tastes like it's probably not intended to taste like this, but it tastes like those Hall's cough drops.
I can't taste anything.
Really?
Yeah, my tongue's just burning. Ooh, those are hot.
Not bad. All right, folks, it's another day, and we got a few more goodies today. I brought out quite a few different tools. I got this fella right here. This is a bearing, what do you call it? Bearing clamp, bearing, I think it's called bearing splitter. More degreaser, more heat, jaw pullers. I got lots of stuff. To start off, just so everyone knows, there's not a lot online about this little differential. There's a lot online about its bigger brother. So this is a GM 7.2 IFS, which stands for independent front suspension, but its bigger brother is the GM 8.25, which it looks very similar, and I guess for all intents and purposes is nearly the same thing. This is just slightly smaller. From what I found though, the procedure looks almost the same for this one as the big one. So what I'm gonna do first is we're gonna set these housings aside. But wait, see this bearing right here? We gotta get this old race out there for the pinion. This one, yeah, so both sides will knock those out, and then we're gonna use these old ones to try and knock the new ones in. And I might have to modify my tool and I'll show you that in a second, because I modified a tool for my axle on my Jeep. Let's start off with the ring gear and the carrier right here. They really don't look terrible. They really don't. First thing we're gonna do is we gotta get this old ring gear off of the carrier. And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna loosen up all these bolts. Looks like there's 10 of them. And then we're gonna heat up the ring gear with the torch, give her a couple love taps, and it should come right off. We just want to heat up the ring gear only, not the carrier. All right, right here. Oh, it's budging. There you go. Good job. All right, so there's the old ring gear right there. Probably gonna throw that in the pile. Hey, if you want a free ring and pinion, it's in good shape. Ratio 3.42 to 1. Reach out to me. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna warm up this bearing with the torch, and then we're gonna send her up. Some fire. Came off pretty easy. Look at that, pops right off. Okay, so the next thing we've got to get prepped and ready is the pinion. Now the new pinion has nothing on it. So I was looking at the old one here, and it does have, it's actually, I don't even know if you can see it, but it does have a shim in between this bearing and the base. And so what that does, when you install the pinion, this shim will adjust how far back and forth inside the housing it is. So now I don't know what this is going to require because it's a new setup. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to pop off this bearing, hopefully not destroy it, and then I'm going to use this bearing as what's called a dummy bearing. Hopefully not do too much, but you take some material out of the center of that so it slides on and off the pinion easily, and then what I'll do is I'll use that to figure out how much shim I need. And it went. Now let's see what this shim is right here. So we got this, and I'm gonna take her off. That's pretty, so as far as shims go, that's a pretty thick one. But there's only one, which is hopefully a good sign that we don't have to have a whole stack on there. Let's see what size this is. It says 84. I forgot my calipers. Shoot. So in order to try to figure out how thick this sucker is, the original one, I'm going to see if these have... Oh no, Connor. None of these have numbers.
Do you feel like a plastic bag?
Oh, shoot. Oh no! I forgot my calipers.
Intermission.
It's Kalen!
What up?
The myth, the legend, the...
Mostly the myth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, what'd you bring?
Water.
Nice.
6-pack. Just water.
Right.
And yeah, speaker for music when we time lapse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
This is my small speaker.
No.
But
all right.
dude, I got a funny story about yesterday.
Oh, you do?
So yesterday you drove your motorcycle out, right? And
Right.
you were getting ready to leave, and I start walking over to my car, and you're taking off leaving, and I walk over, lock my keys in the car, and I could barely get my arm about this far through, and I'm like this far away from like the lock to pull it up, and I'm just like, oh geez. So I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I walk home and then just walk back over with the spare key? So I searched and I found a little piece of metal and was able to
Nice.
rig it. Took me like 5 minutes. Like you literally like had just turned like going up the road, and I realized I was like, and I'm like looking, I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Dang, dude.
'Cause I
That's...
thought about like if you could open this up, I could like find something like a pair of channel locks or
Yeah.
something. But I was just like, I'll figure it out.
That's okay. That's funny. Here's the shims that came with the kit. I'm going to start out by just using the old shim that was on the previous pinion. Not a pinion, just pinion.
I have opinions.
He's got opinions. We got to heat this up, smack that on there, and I brought this out. This is my trusty dusty
Press.
bearing hammer hitter thingy. Old bearing, new pinion. We're using the spacer, but we got to figure out. We need to like our initial steps, so we got to figure out what that's going to be. Okay, so success on the pinion. We're just going to let that cool down, and we also have to let the bearing race cool down because even just resting on it for a little bit that it got hot. Okay, here's our new bearings for the carrier. So we're just going to do the same thing, but these we don't have any shims under, so we can just warm these up and send these home. Okay, so we got all old bearings on right now, and we will pop these off, put the new ones on once we know where our pattern and ring set go. So I've put some motor oil on it because I don't have any gear oil. But
Yeah, that's why it smells weird over here.
anyway, we got this is the old crush sleeve. Now it's already kind of squished, which means we only need it to get us a little bit of rotational drag, not a lot. Whew. So now this is a torque wrench, and it's called a needle torque wrench right here. 1 foot-pound. So basically, if this moves 1 notch, then that is all we need. All right, 55 LBs. You know what that LBs means? Liberty Bells.
Liberty Bells.
America rocks.
Yeah.
A Freedom Ring. 55 foot-pounds. Whew. That first one always makes you nervous. Okay. So that, yeah, mark those two a little better. There we go. Torqued. Okay, are you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, slap this on. Let's get these bolts in, tighten them down, and then we'll run a pattern. Let's see where we're at.
You ever been in a derby?
No, but I kind of want to.
Yeah. I'd help you with it.
Would you?
Yeah. See, I used to, like, all the time. I'm like, man, that'd be so cool. Like, when I
Kind
go
of
out
nervous
there.
to drive though.
That's, yeah. And now that I'm older and I've seen, like, wrecks and rollovers and people getting hit, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah,
I like watching from the stands.
I like my brain.
Yeah.
Well, and you watch from the stands. You get to go home, and then
Yeah.
I actually think it'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
But
you also could get a pretty good grand prize.
Yeah, you could get
A night in the hospital.
Yeah, I was thinking of something along those lines. So if you look down there, you can see the gears. And you see them turning. So we've got to run a pattern, and they have this. They have a couple different types of. They're non-drying like paints, so they have like Prussian blue. Usually it's yellow, and I believe ours is yellow. Thread string. Oh, that's blue locker. Gasket maker. Gear making compound. Here it is. Yeah, so this stuff doesn't dry, and I just need to get down here. I'm gonna paint a couple of the teeth. So let's see which way is right side up. This way. So let's see. So we'll run it both ways, front ways, back ways. All right, now you can kind of see it in there. So it is not bad actually, but it is high. It's high on the, so it's high and it's kind of on the outside of the tooth. So I know we definitely need to adjust the meshing here. So. All right, guys, so the pattern actually looks like it's very close. For just slapping it in and running it, it actually does not look too bad. Here's the coast side, and you can see it looks like it's a little bit high. It's in the middle, so this is the coast side that we're looking at. Now this is the drive side. This is actually what the gets pushed, where the friction happens, and it's where the pinion here spins and makes contact. I got some pictures. I'm gonna go do a little bit of research before I button this all up. But we are very close for just doing it this first time with the spacer. The one spacer we did is actually pretty dang good. All right, folks. Well, today we did pretty good on the front differential. Got real close, and we're gonna be able to button it up really soon. We just need a few more things. So
It's coming along like always, so a little bit here and there.
yeah. Anyway, guys, hey, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you later.